Best win of the season. Best win of the season at Chase Center. An unexpected W from Golden State, who gets a little
Demon Podz.
Demon Podziemski. Oh, what a fourth quarter by the Warriors. We got to break this thing down. Let's go, everyone.
You are Locked On Warriors, your daily Golden State Warriors podcast.
What are they going to say now?
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What do you say, everyone? Welcome into Locked On Warriors. Golden State winners at Chase Center on a Sunday, 128-117 over the Denver Nuggets, who were missing a few of their players, particularly Aaron Gordon, shout out Bay Area, and they were also missing Peyton Watson. But they had Jokic, they had the whole shebang, Jamal Murray, all-stars. The Warriors, meanwhile, were missing Steph Curry, Kristaps Porzingis, Draymond Green, the skeleton crew, as we like to call them. And in the fourth quarter, we saw something pretty crazy.
I found this, and it's perfect for Demon Podz.
Demon Podziemski in the fourth quarter. I was going through some of the, not that one, was going through some of the sound bites on the board and found one perfect for Demon Podz. We'll get into all these things on today's Locked On Warriors. Find us on YouTube, wherever you get your audio podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Use our profit boost on an NBA future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. What a win, everyone. I mean, come on. Can we get a little one of those? That's a big-time W for Golden State, undermanned, able to get a 128-117 win over the Denver Nuggets. In a game where Jokic almost had a triple-double in the first quarter. Now, he didn't get it until the third, but his statistics were like 9, 8, and 7 or something like that. Not even all the way through the first quarter, but the Nuggets get 35, 20, and 12 out of Jokic. No Draymond Green on the floor, so we didn't see how Draymond would have able to at least slightly try to neutralize him. The Warriors had no answers. Fortunately, I mean, the Nuggets had no answers for Golden State, particularly early when they were knocking down threes left and right. There was a run late in the game where the Warriors went 0 of 14 before finally Gary Payton knocks one down to go 1 of 15, which is crazy because the Warriors started the game off very hot and ended 21 of 52 from three-point range. But I want to take you into kind of my brain, how I'm feeling as this game's going on, run it through chronologically by chronologically. We'll spend some time on the Podziemski angle late because, like a lot of you, when there was that turnover late in the fourth quarter, probably like 5-6 minutes left, that gave Denver, I think, a 4-point lead at the time and felt like it shifted momentum. And it was like, this is San Antonio all over again. I don't see how the Warriors are going to overcome a 4-point deficit here just because Denver had the momentum and you felt like they were finally going to start stepping it up, going up 6, something along those lines, and running away from it. And no, I mean, the Warriors were just awesome to end this game. And it was Podziemski who did it, who bounced back from that turnover. And I think he was 2 of 13 shooting at the time too, when he had that turnover. So I'm getting an entire segment ready to go. Like, you know what? I've bought a lot of Brandin Podziemski stock. And at this point it's become penny stock because he did not play well. Had the assists, had the rebounds, but late in the fourth quarter, 6 of 6 in the fourth, a huge run. We're going to get into all these things on today's Locked On Warriors. But let's start with the Warriors having 27 assists, 2 minutes into the third quarter. I wrote second quarter on my notes, but that seems crazy that would be right. 2 minutes into the second quarter. If it was 27, 2 minutes into the second quarter, which I honestly trust my first instincts that I wrote it down on the spot. Either way, golf clap. Warriors had 42 assists in the game today compared to Denver's 25. Secret sauce has always been 30. The crazy sauce, even better than secret sauce. The crazy sauce, always better with a little kick to it. I mean, the Warriors don't lose when they're dishing out 42 assists in a game. Denver tried to make it close, but ultimately the Warriors won by 11. This was the type of game that made me feel like if the Warriors couldn't beat Denver, then that's just a clean sweep in a playoff series because that's how well I thought the Warriors played until they started turning it over and missing threes. But for 2.5 quarters of this game, they were really, really good to end the game. And in the first half, obviously, they were really good, gave about as good of a fight as you can give against the Denver team. Al Horford had 5 first half threes, 5 of them. Turned back the clock a little bit, had the elixir before the game. 17 first half points for Al. Final numbers from Horford. Did he hit that triple-double? 22, 7. No, he wasn't even close. It was Podz that was close to hitting the triple-double. Podz had the 18, 16, and 9. Didn't get there, but Horford had 22 and 7. I didn't know that Horford had 22-point games left in him, but the recipe for him is pretty simple. Knock down 5 threes in the first half, and you're golden. He was 6 of 7 from deep for the Dubs for 22 points. DeAnthony Melton joined him there with 20 points in that club. Moses Moody joined them there with 20 points in that club. He had 23, and then Podziemski had 18. Peyton hit big shot after big shot. He had 15. Will Richard had 11. I mean, double figures. Let's count that up. That's 7 dudes in double figures with 3 of them in the 20s. Who knew that the Warriors had that sort of spark? And I think we've all known that they've had it from time to time, but there's never any consistency. And that's what's so crazy is today was one of those games where start to finish, it was very consistent from everyone. Guy Santos was knocking down shots. He was 6 of 7, 17 points. A lot of claps on today's show, but that was the first time in his career that he went back-to-back games with 17 points. He's doing this consistently. Also had 5 rebounds, 7 assists. Gooey, as some call him. Guy's good, man. He's a good ball player. Horford's still good, pushing 40. DeAnthony Melton, all the way back. At this point, I don't see why you wouldn't look at him as a immediate Band-Aid on the Titanic, potentially, if it gets to that point. But I would think regardless, you're running it back with Steph next year. You want DeAnthony Melton on this team. He was 7 of 18, struggled to shoot the 3 ball today, but his defense is good, man. He's a good defender for this team. We'll get more into this game coming up. I did want to talk about Nikola Jokic a little bit and just the player that he is, the way that he was facilitating to start. I mean, it looked like he was going about 80% on defense. And there was this entire segment during the game where they got into a report about Jokic kind of having that nonchalant demeanor, not caring enough, wanting his horses to win more than win an NBA championship. And the report said, that's a bunch of hogwash, as the old heads would say. It's a bunch of hogwash now. NBA championship, obviously. Don't worry, fellas. That's the first thing on my mind. And Denver did not look NBA championship worthy today, but hey, give a shout to the Warriors on their home floor coming through on a Sunday. That is a big, big time win. All right, let's hit this game. More from it. Big time. 128, 120, 117, rather. 11-point Golden State Warriors win on prime time. Little matinee action at Chase, ESPN, and the Warriors get the 11-point W to improve to 30-27 on the season. They remain 8th in the standings. The show continues right after this.
Forget that. We champs. Why are you starting with that question? We got 4 championships.
Today's episode is brought to you by America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel. Ever want to experience the NBA Finals live and in person? FanDuel's giving you the chance to turn that dream into reality with their NBA sweepstakes. Here's how it works. Use your profit boost on any NBA future, and you'll automatically be entered for a shot to win NBA Finals trip for 2. That's right. Flights, tickets, the whole experience. If you're already looking at the board and planning on putting something in anyways, or you think you got the team, think you got the players, whatever it may be, do it now because that pick could send you to the finals. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Use your profit boost on any NBA future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA.
And buddy, stop trying to dribble the ball.
Now is also a great time to tell you about our Everydayer Club. Find our team's direct sign up by clicking on the link in the bio. You get all access tier. You'll get Discord, everything. I'll be hanging out in there, group chats for the Golden State Warriors, the Everydayer Club. We'll talk more about it as we continue on, but start to look into that. It's a great program we got going on. 128, 117 for the Warriors. Pick it up to really start the game. It was the Warriors zipping the ball around, finding the open man. Denver's defense wasn't particularly intrusive, I guess is the right word there. It wasn't disruptive. 11-2 is how we started this game. It was Horford burying a couple of threes, a sign of what was to come. D'Anthony Melton buries one. It's 11-2. Then Moses Moody buries one. You're 4 of 5 to start. There was a run where the Warriors went 1 of 15, as I mentioned, 0 of 14 before they finally broke the seal. And during that time, I thought it showed more mental toughness than any other game this season, because the Warriors had no business, it felt like, winning this game. It felt like San Antonio all over again when De'Aaron Fox hit that step back to tie it up going into the fourth. When Jokic hit that layup, or Jokic passed it ahead, rather, to get to the triple-double and hit Christian Brown on that layup to go up 88-87. Then he was at the line a minute later. Let's not forget the Warriors were turning the ball over like crazy and fouling like crazy in that third quarter. They turned it over 5 times and fouled 10 times in the third, and were still able to win. But when Jokic went to the line up a couple at that point, I was like, all right, this is San Antonio all over again. Golden State's not winning this, but kudos to them. They fought. They fought. And those threes were catch and shoot in rhythm, good flow. Didn't feel like they were having to do a ton off the dribble, at least in terms of creating their own shots. It was really drive and kick. It's a lot of back cuts. Kerr, I thought, had to have loved that ball movement early, just naturally unselfish, because there wasn't really one guy that was clogging things. It was just moving. They were getting good shots. Meanwhile, on the other end, Jokic, just so damn good at passing, unselfish, leads the NBA in assists. Actually, it's kind of crazy. I think it's 5 years. Maybe it's pre-pandemic. I don't know as far as the stat dates back. Maybe 3 seasons. Regardless, it's an incredible stat. Nikola Jokic leads the NBA, the entire NBA, in points, rebounds, and assists during that time. And he's got the MVPs to back it up. But, I mean, when are we going to start talking about him as, I guess we already have, in terms of most gifted offensive players ever. LeBron even confirming that he believed that was the case earlier this year. Overall, I mean, where are you putting him in your top? At some point, he's got to start entering this top 10 conversation with what he is doing. Still pretty young for the most part. I want to say he's like 31, but mentioned that he almost had a triple-double in the first quarter. He had 18, 12, and 9 at half. I thought the momentum shifted a second before halftime when Guy Santos fouled Nikola Jokic 55 feet from the basket or something along those lines with a second left, and they got 2 easy ones going into the locker room, and then came out and immediately went on like a 6-0 run. I thought that was the point where the Warriors were kind of screwed there. But again, it's a testament to the Warriors offense humming. I mean, there was a play where Moses Moody attacked a closeout late, went baseline for the slam. Jamal Murray, just not good defense there, frankly, but give it to Mo to put it on the deck. He'd been shooting them all game, and a couple times he mixed up the formula and went to the bucket. And that time he put it down for a slam. Chase Center was on fire all afternoon. I thought the Warriors flat out wanted it. They brought the energy. The fans brought the energy. That was a team, and this is a team that clearly is not going to quit, because I was thinking maybe naturally you're looking at the natural tank, because they're flat out not good enough, and they're going to lose these type of games, and they're going to, struggle against Sacramento when they don't have their guys. And who else have they lost to this season without Curry in them? Atlanta, I mean, even with Mavericks, and then they turn around and do this, 74 points in the first half. Most this season. They did it without Steph. They did it without Porzingis. They were getting whatever they wanted. Crazy. Honestly, I did not realize that Draymond, it was way too late. And I probably realized it early and just wrote it off. And then when the Warriors were actually up, kind of looked back into it. But third quarter, I'm sitting there and I'm like, wait, I haven't seen any Draymond today. Again, you wonder how he could have helped with Jokic. But if you're beating the Denver Nuggets without Draymond, I mean, at a certain point, like Joe Lacob, I have the quote up here of what he said. Give me a second. Said, you don't trade players like Draymond. The Warriors were never going to move him for Giannis. Quote, he's a core person in our franchise. You don't trade a Draymond Green simply or easily. Cue up a meme of Klay Thompson, kind of, one of those. again, you didn't necessarily miss him in the game today. Felt like the offense was humming a little bit. Guy Santos, 17 points. I mean, he put up better numbers than Draymond's likely going to put up. I mean, Draymond had the game against the Spurs that probably look very similar, 17, 5 and 7, but Guy's younger, Guy's cheaper. Guy can be a part of your future. At this point, I don't know. Everyone could have their own take on that. I think that he's still valuable to have at this point in time, but next year, assuming he buys into that extension for one more season, that player option, then to me, I don't see the need right now. I don't see the need. All right, we have to get into Demon Pods, right? The fact that I found this on the soundboard, just going through a bunch, I was looking for the applause to start and then the Jack Bauer. I don't even know why I had the damn it there after this win, but I guess I had it queued up early for the foreshadowing, but I found this one.
Demon Pods.
And Demon Pods today, we haven't even talked about him yet, went off in the fourth quarter for the Warriors. 6 of 6. He had 15 of his 18 points in like the final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. He was struggling. He was having a rough game and finishes with 18, 16, 9 on 7 of 16 shooting, 3 of 7 from deep. I mean, everything on the stat line throughout the game just says excellent game, but it couldn't have been further from the truth until, I mean, he was facilitating all game. And look, it's not that hard to facilitate when you get it, you're pushing the pace, you get it up the floor, and your easiest option is first option, look left, find Moses Moody on the wing who's going to knock down a three. You get a couple of those, get one to Peyton. Yes, 7 assists, but I mean, he picked it up late in the fourth quarter and was hitting everything. He was hitting that step back, that J. He was doing little things too that we don't see a ton of from Podziemski, or that we do see a ton of from Podziemski, and it's why he continues to play even when he struggles to shoot and just struggles to create in general. And it's plays like when Denver's about to get an offensive rebound because Valanciunas is in there, or Jokic is about to grab another one of his 18 boards or whatever, and Podziemski just kind of has the wherewithal to tap it right ahead to Will Richard, who runs the break and finds someone in transition who knocks down a three. Just like little things that don't show up on the stat sheet, that it's just like wherewithal. You know, doesn't go over the back and foul, doesn't not go in for the kill and try to get what's his. He just kind of does what's there, pokes it away, and that doesn't show up in the stat sheet. But there are plenty of times where he's missing shots, especially in key moments where you feel like, God, that needs to go down, Pods. The numbers say you're 40% from three. You're not knocking down the key shots. And in the fourth quarter, he helped the Warriors capture momentum entirely. He brought an edge, had a big smile on his face, and rightfully so. He takes a ton of heat, and he has not had a situation like this. He's done it like mid-game and helped the Warriors win throughout, but I don't know if I can definitely count on one hand, and I can probably count to two as many times aside from today that Brandin Podziemski has taken over a fourth quarter and been like a big reason the Warriors have won. I mean, that was a 15-0 Warriors run he ignited, and then a 22 run to cap it for Podziemski and the Warriors. Huge win for the Dubs at Chase Center. Let's tie a ribbon on this thing. Let's show you the upcoming schedule. It's straight ahead on Locked On Warriors.
Destroy Jimmy and Domino's. I know Jimmy drinks great wine.
Workplace chaos, deadlines stacking up, inboxes overflowing, and the one position you have to still fill is sitting open. When the pressure's on, you need the right hire. This is a job for sponsored jobs. Indeed, sponsored jobs help you reach the people who actually fit what you're looking for. Skills, experience, location. So you're not just hoping the right candidates stumble across your post. Here's a stat that says it all. In the minute I've been talking to you, companies like yours made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. Indeed sponsored jobs. Spend less time searching and more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Less stress, less time, more results. Sounds like a job for Indeed sponsored jobs. Go to Indeed.com/podcast and listen to this show. Get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? This is a job for Indeed sponsored jobs. Today's episode is also brought to you by TurboTax. Tax season doesn't have to take over your life. This year, TurboTax is making it easier than ever to just hand things off and move on with your day. With TurboTax Full Service, you can have your taxes done for you by a local expert, start to finish, without the stress or the guesswork. Instead of spending hours trying to figure out forms, W-2s, self-employed forms, no! Upload the documents, go about your day, and get updates right in the TurboTax app. It's a huge time saver. It gives you real peace of mind. It's just $150 all in. If a TurboTax expert did not file for you last year, do it by February 28th. Take taxes off your plate. Get back to your life. Visit TurboTax.com/local to book your appointment today.
Forget that. We champs. Why are you starting with that question? We got 4 championships.
All right. I thought this was one of the best Moody Podz fourth quarters we've seen this season. I thought it was one of the better Will Richard games we've seen in a while. Only had 11 points, was 4 of 9, 1 of 4. Nothing crazy on the box score. I just thought he played well. He played like a heady vet out there. Milton didn't shoot it well, but played very well. Didn't get a ton of Pat Spencer today, but he fought out there in the minutes that he played. 5 assists in his 19 minutes. Gary Payton, your unsung hero of the game award, 15 points, 6 of 11 shooting, 3 of 8 from deep, but it felt like every time Gary Payton hit a 3, the Warriors needed a 3 desperately, whether it was to ignite a run, come back into the game after being down 4 or something that wasn't that much realistically, but you were just afraid that Denver was going to pile it on with the offense that they have, scoring capabilities that they have. And Gary Payton, I would say the crowd silencer, but I guess the jubilation, fired up down at Chase. And then Quentin Post did not score in his 21 minutes, had 7 rebounds, 4 assists. But honestly, in the minutes that he was out there, you didn't really notice him aside from defensively. Not many of the sets were being run through Quentin Post. There wasn't a lot of Quentin Post pick and roll action tonight. And it was the Al Horford show, who went 27 minutes, had 22 points, 7 assists. I mean, you could give player of the game to Podziemski for his late fourth quarter push that allowed the Warriors to win. You can give it to Al for his overall body of work. You could give it to, I think you could even give it to Moses Moody, who went for 23, 7, and 5, just for being lead scorer, knocking down big threes, knocking down threes early, knocking them down late, attacking the closeouts and finishing, and protecting the basketball and giving them 35 minutes of +5 basketball. So that's what I want to know from you in the comments, in the chat. Who was the player of the game for the Warriors? Who was the unsung hero? I'm going to probably go with Peyton as unsung because I thought his buckets were big. And then for player of the game, I mean, I think you go Al Horford. Even though Demon Podz was wrecking it in the fourth, my particular opinion is who kept you in it and who gave you the lead throughout a lot of this game. And it was Horford with his 22 and 7 that gets my nod today. But anyways, you can give it to anyone. There's no debate there. It's opinion when it's all said and done. Big win. Oh, baby. I was not expecting to do a winning postgame show today. Truly. I just didn't think this squad had a chance. And they put it on the Nuggets early and often. It was 39-27 after the first, up 12, and the Warriors were up 9 at halftime, even after the Guy Santos blunder. It was just a good game, start to finish from the Dubs. Like, even when the Nuggets won that third quarter, 34-19, that wasn't a good quarter. I mean, the Warriors were fouling and turning the basketball over, doing 2 things that are going to crush you, and not hitting threes, missing 13, 14, whatever it was in a row there. That's not good. But again, the fight from this team after going through that brutal stretch and still winning, I mean, that's something that we weren't able to see against San Antonio, and rightfully so. But to see it against Denver, it makes you wonder, like, okay, we get Curry back. Porzingis does improve a little bit. Like, I'm not saying this team's going to fight with Denver over a 7-game series, but I mean, come on now. Start winning some games, man. Reel us back in. Now, the other argument could be Denver's going through a tough stretch. I think that's their 3rd game in 4 days. They just had maybe not an emotional, but like a record-setting win, just a dominating win over the Portland Trailblazers the other night after losing to the Clippers. So they've gone through it the last week or two, and we'll see what happens throughout. I don't think that the Warriors, who are 5 games back in the standings of the Nuggets are really a threat to making a push there. But hey, if you get in the first round, if you could somehow sneak out like the 7 instead of the 8 and get San Antonio and Draymond turns into against Victor Wembanyama, Draymond and Porzingis is work. I mean, we can at least talk ourselves into something fun, right? Because if this team shows up more often than not, even just a couple days a week, even maybe one day a week, you're likely, there's no point in talking about a tank. Your best opportunity in the final few playoff runs that you have of Steph Curry, maybe the final 2, you never know. You at least see one where he has a chance to go play in Curry and then have a 7-game series to show you what he's made of, and Kristaps Porzingis get a little extra audition in, and Guy Santos show up with his first serious minutes in a playoff series, see if he's for real on the brightest stage, and get a little Melton as your 3rd, 4th best player action. I mean, yeah, that's a little much. A little bit of a stretch when you try to say all that happening along the lines of them actually competing for the West this year, but that's what we want. That's best case scenarios. You go in next year with a little bit of good juju. Maybe you can get something done in the offseason, and you got some younger players that don't command a lot of money. They're playing better basketball. Hopefully we can see Podz keep this up. His 4th quarter gives him some confidence, gives him a spark, and he does this consistently. Because if you get 18, 16, and 9 from Podziemski any night, I mean, that's good basketball regardless of how he played first, second quarter, whatever. You get those numbers in a winning performance, I mean, that's big. He was plus 19, by the way. That's best on the team. So say whatever you want about the start to his game. He definitely proved the haters wrong in this game tonight. But again, he's done it before. Moody's done it before. They've only done it before in the same game, like twice, it feels like. But can they consistently start believing in each other a little bit more, believing in themselves a little bit more, and competing in some of these games, get Curry back, and we'll see. We've seen crazier things. We have. In sports, maybe not, but we've seen crazier things. In fact, we see them all the time. Just open up the Guinness Book of World Records. Oh, how many legs? No, it's big win when it's all said and done for the Warriors on a Sunday too. So enjoy yourself. Nice day. Enjoy yourself. 128-117. The Warriors get a big win over Denver to round out the Nuggets. It was 35 for Jokic, 21 for Jamal Murray, and 18 for Christian Brown. Upcoming schedule looks as such. So the Nuggets off the board with a win. 4 games, maybe 3. I would have to look up the exact math, but definitely next 3. Pelicans, Grizzlies, both on the road, and then the Lakers at Chase. You will be missing Steph Curry, who's going to be reevaluated in a week. And then Clippers, we'll see what happens from there. But next 4, Pelicans, Grizzlies, Lakers, Clippers. Hey, I said 1 of 4 would be pretty brutal here. You'd have to lose 4 in a row to go 1 of 4 now. And I don't think that's happening against the Pelicans and the Grizzlies. So let's see what the skeleton crew can put together tonight. They looked like a real thing. 72 points in the first half, able to hold off the Denver Nuggets in their flurry in the 3rd quarter, get it done in the 4th. This is Locked On Warriors. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Appreciate you. Warriors improved to 30-27. We'll see you. Have a great rest of your weekend. Great week, everyone. Talk soon. Bye. Peace.